It is 1941. The war at sea is 2 years old, and Britain is losing it. In the North Atlantic, German U-boats hunt in packs. The supply lines that keep Britain alive are bleeding out, one convoy at a time. And now, a new threat emerges, something far worse than a submarine. The German battleship Bismarck slips out of the Baltic with her escort, Prince Eugen, and turns her bow west. She has 823 feet of armored steel, 8 15-inch guns, the most powerful surface warship the Kriegsmarine has ever put to sea. The Royal Navy scrambles everything it has. But standing between Bismarck and open ocean is one asset unlike any other, HMS Ark Royal. She is Britain's most famous aircraft carrier, the ship that launched the legendary attack on the Italian fleet at Taranto the previous year. She is not large by later standards. She is not the newest vessel in the fleet. But she carries Swordfish torpedo bombers, and her crew, every last one of them, knows what is at stake. On the bridge of the Ark Royal, officers track the reports coming in. The battlecruiser HMS Hood has been destroyed by Bismarck, blown apart in 8 minutes, with the loss of 1 4-15 men, only 3 survivors. The shock ripples through every ship in the fleet, but it doesn't stop the mission. It sharpens it. Bismarck is running south. She has taken a hit from HMS Prince of Wales. Fuel is leaking. Her bow is riding lower. Her captain knows he cannot fight the whole Royal Navy. He turns for the French port of Saint-Nazaire, where repairs and protection await. For 31 hours, the British lose contact. It is an intelligence failure that nearly ends in catastrophe. Bismarck is enormous, fast, and the Atlantic is vast. Hundreds of miles pass. The window is closing. Then, a sighting. A Catalina flying boat reacquires her, far south and west, still running. The Ark Royal is already moving to intercept, together with Force H out of Gibraltar. The distance is brutal. The weather is brutal. The clock is running. Below decks on Ark Royal, the Swordfish crews are briefed. Their aircraft look absurd against the scale of what they are being asked to do. Fabric-covered biplanes, barely 139 miles per hour at full throttle. They will fly into the teeth of Bismarck's anti-aircraft batteries in open cockpits. The cold at altitude will be savage. The flak will be heavier than anything they have faced before. They climb into their aircraft anyway. The first strike goes wrong before it begins. 15 Swordfish lift from Ark Royal's pitching deck in rough seas, climbing through clouds and spray. In the murk, they locate a large warship and attack. Torpedoes run true. It is HMS Sheffield, their own ship. The error is extraordinary. Sheffield has been sent ahead to shadow Bismarck, and the Swordfish crews were not informed of her position. Several torpedoes detonate on contact with the water, a fault with the magnetic pistols. Sheffield takes violent evasive action. She survives, unharmed. The pilots return to Ark Royal, faces pale. Some cannot speak. There is no time for recrimination. The magnetic pistols are stripped out. Contact fuses are fitted. New crews are briefed. The second strike is turned around in under 2 hours, an extraordinary feat of seamanship and nerve in heaving Atlantic swells. 15 Swordfish launch again. The light is fading. The sea is gray-green and violent. They approach in subflights, attacking from multiple angles to split Bismarck's fire. The battleship fills the air with tracer and shell bursts, a wall of metal that the biplanes somehow thread through, one by one. 2 torpedoes find their mark. The first strikes amidships, damage significant but manageable. The second hits aft, near the stern. It strikes the rudder. Bismarck begins to turn. Her crew fights to correct it. Emergency steering, manual systems, everything they have. Nothing works. The the rudder is jammed. She is locked in a slow, helpless circle, turning north, turning back toward the pursuing British fleet. There will be no Saint-Nazaire. There will be no survival. The Swordfish crews, fuel nearly exhausted, turned back toward Ark Royale. They have done what no one believed possible. A fabric biplane in 1941 has decided the fate of the most feared battleship in the world. Through the night, British destroyers shadow Bismarck, unable to deliver the killing blow, but keeping her in sight. In the morning, the battleships King George V and Rodney close in.
Damage control
The
party.
battle is merciless
Report to the hangar deck
and brief.
Now. We need
Bismarck
more
is
support on the
reduced to
starboard
wreckage
side.
in under
She's
2
going over.
hours of shelling. She sinks on May 27, 1941, with the loss of over 2,000 men. Fewer than 115 are rescued. Britain celebrates. The newspapers proclaim victory. HMS Ark Royal is the hero of the hour. The ship, her aircrew, her swordfish. The Prime Minister mentions her by name. But in the North Atlantic, the war does not pause for celebrations.
She's gone.
6 months later, on November 13,
God help us,
1941,
She's gone.
Ark Royal is operating east of Gibraltar. The morning has passed without incident. She is returning to port after flying operations, accompanied by her escort. At 3:41 in the afternoon, U-81 fires a single torpedo. One torpedo. That is all it takes. He lands. They all land. For now, the ship is still beneath them, solid, familiar, alive. The explosion shakes Ark Royal to her keel. She lists immediately, 15 degrees, then more. Power fails. The pumps fall silent. The hangar floods. The crew fights for 16 hours to save her. A desperate, dogged battle that comes astonishingly close to succeeding. But the flooding cannot be controlled. At 6:13 in the morning of November 14th, HMS Ark Royal rolls onto her side and slips beneath the surface. Of her crew of 1,188 men, all but one are rescued. It is by any measure a remarkable feat of damage control and seamanship, even in failure. She rests today off the coast of Gibraltar in 1,000 meters of water. The ship that helped doom Bismarck was sunk by a single torpedo from a U-boat that should never have been close enough to fire. An investigation finds catastrophic failures in damage control procedure. Watertight doors not closed, pumps not properly engaged. History does not always end with the heroes intact. HMS Ark Royal served for less than 4 years. In that time, she changed the course of the war at sea. She showed what carrier aviation could do. She proved that a biplane in the hands of determined men could kill a
God
monster.
help us, Jada. She's gone.
The sea took her, but the sea could not take what she had already done. If this story stayed with you, subscribe. Every week we follow the ships, the pilots, and the decisions that shaped the war at sea. Next episode, another fleet, another desperate gamble, and another crew that refused to quit.